Hello everybody! Now, I have not uploaded in a while, and I have recorded a few videos, but, I have, just not uploaded them. So if I upload any videos in the future and it's saying the same thing, those were recorded before this. So, there you are. Now, do you know what? I think I'm gonna maybe start posting semi-regularly again. I probably won't post in the next couple of weeks because I've got a lot of stuff coming up with school. So, I'm going to be quite busy over the next couple of weeks. But after that, I should be free. So maybe see more content from me. Now, today, it's a bit late coming, but I thought better late than never. Or as they say in Welsh, well hwyr na hwyrach, which actually translates to better late than later. But, there you are. And I thought I might do something different. I thought I might do a redux of a review that I did 3 years ago. 4 years ago, maybe, even. No, 3 years ago. It would be 4 years ago this year. It's one of the first videos I did on my channel, and considering the fact that it is the 3rd anniversary since the passing of Sophie, I thought it might be fitting to do a re-review of Oil of Every Pills and Insides by Sophie. So, yes, I wanted to show off my vinyl record of it as well. But yeah, there you are. So, I thought Sophie has a very limited discography, to say the least. She has 2 albums, one of which is technically not an album, it's a compilation album of a bunch of singles that she released in 2015. But yeah, you've got Nothing More to Say and Product and Oil of Every Pills and Insides, this album. And that's pretty much it from her. You have got songs that she produced, of course. You've got the... what is it? I think 8 songs that she produced. I think. So those are Vroom Vroom, Paradise, Trophy, Secret, After the After Party, Roll With Me Lip Gloss featuring Cupcake, and Out of My Head featuring Almo and Tuvlo. So, and there's also songs that she produced for other artists, Hey Cutie, the song that she did for Madonna. But yeah, so I thought, do you know what, I might as well redo one of her albums that, has quite a big reputation. So, first of all, I'm gonna get into a bit of backstory about this album. So, this album was released in, I think it was November 2018, I want to see. One sec, I'll check. I got that well off. June 2017. Wow, I got that well off. I'm going crazy. But, well, I have for the last 14 years, but, there you are. But yeah, do you know what? Yeah. So, Oil of Every Pills and Insides, despite being a... I forgot what I was gonna say then, mid-sentence. Yeah, so... Sophie is one of hyperpop's biggest names. And she is acclaimed amongst the hyperpop community, especially for this album. I've often asked people, what do you think is the hyperpop holy trinity? In my opinion, it's Kick 1 by Arca, Pop 2 by Charlie XCX, and Oil of Every Pills and Insides by Sophie. And a lot of people have disagreed with me on the first two, but almost everybody will agree that Oil of Every Pills and Insides is the, if not one of the best, hyperpop album of all time. So, you're getting into some good stuff here. Now, the album was released with 3 singles. The opening 3 tracks, It's Okay to Cry, Pony Boy, and Face Shopping. I'm pretty sure in that order as well. But the most popular track from this album has been the penultimate track, Immaterial. It's hyperpop perfection. It's got really balancing bass, bubbly synths, very pitched up vocals from Cecil Believe. But yeah. So without spending too much time waffling like I always do, let's get into this video. Now, the album starts with the opening single, It's Okay to Cry. Now, this is a very special song because apart from La Chiqui with Arca, it is the only song where we know for sure that it is Sophie's voice on this song. A lot on Product, she used a variety of singers, like the lead singer of the band Motherland that she was in like the late 2000s, Hannah Diamond, a PC Music Collective, and various other singers. But for this album, apart from this track, she uses the singer Cecil Believe for all the tracks. But yeah, this is a different one. Now, this is more ambient side of the record. All it's based on is very minimalistic synths, Sophie's almost whispering vocals, and towards the end, storm sounds and some extra synths. But genuinely, it's just the bridge sends you to heaven for 30 seconds. It is so good. It is basically just her with a crap ton of reverb. It is. I love it. But, and this is actually where she came out as a trans woman, because we had never seen her face before, but this was the first time that we saw it. And yeah, so, there you are. She is also a massive trans icon, so yeah. God, to think that literally I made my first review when Sophie was still alive. It was like November, December 2020. Oh my god, literally. Oh, takes me back. Anyway, so the next 2 songs, Pony Boy and Face Shopping, are 2 sides of the same coin. They're very industrial, blaring bassy sounds. I'm pretty sure Face Shopping was my first introduction to the bubblegum bass sound. Well, not bubblegum bass, but hyperpop. Because I was getting into Charlie XCX, and, I did my thing where I went chronologically, and I think I'd gotten to Sucker. Something like that. And Face Shopping came on my feed, and I was like, this is really cool. I've heard of this song before in that video I saw on PC Music. My mind was blown that day. I was not the same person from that day onward. I played it for my parents and they were like, what the hell is this crap? I was just like, you don't get it. You just don't get it. And I still love this song. But first of all, Pony Boy. Pony Boy is sort of, I mean, not to knock it, it's still an amazing song, but it's face shopping but worse. I prefer face shopping. If I would say you can only listen to Pony Boy for the rest of your life or only listen to face shopping for the rest of your life, which would you choose? I'd take face shopping in an instant. It wouldn't even be a debate. But yeah, the singles are sort of almost like a different world from the rest of the album, because the remaining 6 tracks, it's almost world building. It's while it's the production is full, it feels like it's on a different planet. It's on like a different planet. It's just, it takes you out of this world, and it feels so spacious and empty, every single one of the tracks, even though all of the tracks sound different from each other. It's all very different. It's no, it's all very the same. All like very ambient aura. It's not ambient music, but it's, apart from like pretending, but it's very ambient. It's got a lot of ambience to it. So we start that run off with "Is It Cold in the Water?" Is it. One sec. Anyways, "Is It Cold in the Water" revolves around this repeating synth mantra that's slowly ascending until it stops and the singer says, "In the water," and then it just restarts again. Oh my god, it fills you with adrenaline. It is just, oh, just like it's one of the better songs on the record. I'll give my ranking at the end of the video, because and the vocal performance on this is amazing, and I think the delivery is very almost like, it kind of reminds me of Storm from Drawing Restraint 9 by Björk, where it's totally different from this, but it kind of reminds me where you've got these sweeping vocal melodies almost floating above the track. It's like, oh, like that's why I think Storm is probably my favourite song from Drawing Restraint 9, because the first time that you hear the like vocal line from Björk, it's just, oh, so good. You can't knock it. You can't knock it. But yeah, then you've got just so good. Anyways, now we've got even this. You could never think that there'd be a step up from "Is It Cold in the Water," but Infatuation knocks it out of the park. It is just literally so good. I just realised that half of the track titles begin with "I." Cold in the Water, It's Okay to Cry, Infatuation, Immaterial. I just realised that. Anyways, Infatuation sort of revolves around this like this really weird sound. It's almost like it's like a wet sound, and this like vocal melody that's saying like gibberish or something, and then it just goes to this booming synth line, and the singer saying, "Infatuation, who are you deep down? I want to know." And it is just one of the best pieces of experimental music that I have ever heard and I will ever hear. It is just I like buy songs on iTunes to use as my alarms, and I use my favorite songs as Infatuation is one of them. Um, but yeah, I just love it. Then you've got the end of the song. You've got this like really distorted synth line that's that sounds like really weird. It used to like rub me the wrong way, but I think it adds to the song even more. Um, like, who are you deep down? I want to know, just almost screaming it, and it's just. And then it does this thing in the record which I'm kind of not keen of, where it like transitions to the next song. And I'm all for transitions. But it does the homogenic treatment where it just puts the very end, at the very start of the next song, at the end of the song. And do you know what? And some points it's okay, but with shifts from like, it's most jarring from Immaterial to Whole New World. Oh, like it takes you out of the vibe. It really does. Because it's just like, it transitions out and then you just hear this like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's the only thing that I can knock this album for. It is, oh, I don't like it. No, I'd rather it just cut instantly because then I know to get into the zone. Just, yeah, you know? And that leads into the next song, Not Okay, which is the shortest song on the record, coming in just under 2 minutes. It's quite an industrial track, maybe not as intense as Face Shopping and Ponyboy, because it is sort of part of this world building. It mostly revolves around Cecil Believe saying, "Girl, don't make me come and try, 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 try." Just repeating that and distorted synths coming at you from all directions. It is just so good. Literally, it's a bop. It's like the biggest bop on this record. It is just so good. And I think it is just so good. Uh, and I think I think maybe it's probably around the halfway point with this record. Um, but yeah, there you go. Um, yeah, I think it's a really cool addition to the record, but I don't think it it kind of takes you out of the zone from Face Shopping. No, from Is It Cold in the Water and Infatuation, but not that much because it is very much in the world building. And then again, you've got a very jarring transition. This album does not have many tracks on it, so it can't really transition well between the ambient tracks and the up-tempo tracks. So yeah, we go from one of the more abrasive and jarring tracks on the record to the most ambient. So Pretending is a song that is literally just synth drone the entire way through, until the end of the song where it sounds like a car engine. I remember watching a Sophie album reaction video and somebody said that it was actually a 20-minute clip, 20-second clip of her saying, "I'm just pretending," slowed down because it was originally like a song, but she felt that it was a bit too on the nose, so she changed it to what it is today. I sped it up and it wasn't there, so take that with what you will. Maybe it was reversed or something, but it didn't sound like vocals at all. And it didn't really sound like anything musical or anything either. So I don't believe that that's true, but there you are. I used to really be into this track, but like not anymore. It's probably on the bottom of my list. It's just a bit of a dud. I think it has its place in the record, but I don't think it. I think that if face shopping was removed from the record wouldn't take that much. It wouldn't really be that much off of it. So, yeah. Then next we have Immaterial. Now, I want to tell you a little joke about this. So, what we have been doing in the Sophie sort of community is we've been doing this thing called Immaterial Week, where we've been streaming Immaterial as much as possible to try and get on the Billboard Hot 100, the Billboard charts, global charts. So I said, do you know what? I'm going to try as hard as I can, and I'm going to try and stream it as much as possible. So I kind of ended up streaming it 492 times. So I already know what my top song this year is going to be. So yeah, there you are. You didn't even get it on the charts, so I did it for absolutely nothing. I regret it. But I kind of don't, because having Immaterial as my top song isn't something that I'd revere. Having Immaterial is one of my favourite songs, so there you are. But yeah, if you want to know if you're wondering how I did that, I would put it on repeat while I slept on mute. So I'd stream it like 100, 200 times. So there you are. Never even got it on the charts. But I'm pretty sure it was that way before. But when I looked on Sophie's page, her top song is Immaterial. Yeah, it probably was that way before, because Immaterial has double the streams that any of the other songs do. I think. Let me check. Well, I was right. Immaterial has 28 million streams. Meanwhile, the second most streamed song from the album, Face Shopping, only has about 13. And the least streamed song on the album is Pretending, which shows it's an absolute dumpster fire and a bad song, because it only has just under 2 million. I'm only joking, but there you are. I think it is hyperpop perfection. The beat is amazing, the synths, the horns. It really, if it's like a rave on an alien land. It sort of a little bit reminds me of Utopia by Björk. A little bit. Like, I've been imagining like a kind of music video in my head, and everybody's just having this rave on an alien language. And then during the second verse, where the instrumental cuts out and it's just a girl singing, there's just like a robot glitching. And like the place that they're raving, it's kind of like Utopia land, but like, but it's like pink and purple, you know? Yeah, like pink and purple. And, you know, but yeah, Immaterial is just amazing. There's a bit, in the second verse, like I just mentioned, there's a bit where the production cuts out and it's just Sophie's voice. And you'd think it would really take you out of the vibe, but it really does not. It fits it in its own way. And, like, the way that the instrumental slowly creeps back in, and it's just so good. And it only lasts 3.5 minutes, and that it feels like it's 1.5. Like, I wish it was so much. I wish it was so much longer, but I think that it's literally the perfect length. It it's not too long. It's not too short. It's a really good length, but it's also like, yeah, it's just perfect. It is a perfect song. It's my favorite song from the record, and judging by the streams, it is everybody's favorite as well. Then we've got Whole New World with the jarring transition at the end, which I absolutely despise. Sophie, no. Just because you're dead doesn't mean I can't criticize you. Just joking. But yeah, I used to absolutely hate this track. I I used to think, oh my god, it is 9.5 minutes. It doesn't need to be this length. I would always skip it every single time. I would always skip it without a doubt. But I actually grown to like it. I think the first bit is a bit like Face Shopping and Pony Boy, but it's as intense as Face Shopping and Pony Boy, but it really creates the atmosphere, and it stays in the vibe of the whole like extraterrestrial extraterrestrial planet that Face Shopping doesn't necessarily do it. Also, it has these like really down pitched vocals that are like really weird. Like, what are you on about? Like, and also the synths are, and the bit that's, I think that's quite cool. I looked into your eyes and a whole new world. I love that bit as well. Also, the album was actually originally supposed to be called Whole New World, but she changed it to Oil of Every Pearl's and Insides, which actually apparently is sort of like it's supposed to kind of sound like I Love Every Person's Insides. Oil of Every Pearl's and Insides. It kind of works. It works apart from the pearls like it still works, but like there you are. Yeah. And I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I think your inside is your best side. You know. Um, yeah, and then it's sort of, and the second half sort of more juts into like pretending territory, but it's not like a very jarring just stop. It's actually a very casual transition, and I think it works really well. But I remember once, right? Because in the summer last year, I went on holiday with my grandparents. Now, normally, what we would do is we would go down to a place, usually in France, and stay there for 2 weeks, then go back. But we did a 10-day almost road trip. We stayed in Belgium, then 2 nights in Germany at different places, then 4 nights in Switzerland, then a night in Geneva, then 2 nights in France on the way back up, and then back home. So obviously we were driving a lot, and there were a lot of long journeys, so I had to listen to a lot of music. Now I have a lot of albums. Now I have a lot of albums saved on my phone, downloaded on my phone, so I can listen to if I'm not on Wi-Fi or something. But I two of those albums are Oil of Every Pills and Insides and Evermore by Taylor Swift. It was I put on Oil of Every Pills and Insides and then wanted to listen to Evermore. Transition, that is the wildest transitions I have ever heard in my life. Um, like, let me just show you the whiplash that I went through. Like, it's just ambient noise. Like, what was that? What was that? It's just crazy. It's mind boggling. It is just, what just happened? But it was so good. I would 100% do it again. And I love it. So, so to wrap things up, I think my I think if I had to rate this album out of 100, I would probably give it either a 97 or a 98. It's not perfect, the transitions between some of the songs are not great, but I think every song is almost perfect. I would 100% recommend it to somebody trying to get into hyperpop, because while it is out there, it is hyperpop at its best. It is I'll go out and say it is the best hyperpop album that I've heard, and I've heard a few. Um, but yeah, I think it's a really it's really hard to think of this as a goodbye message for Sophie, because I know she wanted to make more music after this. She said that she was going to release 4 albums in 2018. That never happened. And she was going to work with Lady Gaga on Chromatica, that ended up falling through. But this would end up being the last song that she released under her own name fully. Because, there was the Bip Autica remix and Unisil, but that's a remix and Unisil was a bonus track for Product. So it's just really sad that she's gone now. I think I definitely didn't take it as hard as a lot of other fans did. I have this friend who's also a fan of Sophie, and genuinely they were crying yesterday because of it. Um, and it's it's just really sad. And I know she won't be seeing this, but we'll miss you, Sophie. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Just thank you. But yeah, album ranking. So at number 9 we have Pretending. Number 8, Whole New World, Pretend World. Number 6, Ponyboy. Number 5, Not Okay. Number 4, It's Okay to Cry. Number 3, Is It Cold in the Water. Number 2, wait no, 6, Not Okay. Number 5, It's Okay to Cry. Number 4, Is It Cold in the Water. Number 3, Face Shopping. Number 2, Infatuation. And number 1, Immaterial. So that was my Oil of Every Pills and Inside Redux ranking. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you hopefully again.